I'm Ann Torres. I'm joined by Keith Williams. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
There's a lot of hype in sustainability and clean tech. What do you think leaders can do to cut beyond that and do something great for their businesses?
There's a lot of noise around clean tech, and that's pretty difficult for business leaders because a lot of these technologies are characterized by complex environmental, technical, and financial trade-offs. And it's difficult for leaders to cut through that to understand what is fundamentally going on with a given technology. There are three questions that I always ask to try and understand what's really happening with that adoption dynamic, if you like. The first one is it a scientific limitation that's determining how that technology will be adopted? Is it a scaling issue? Or is it to do with the existence or non-existence of a particular ecosystem?
With respect to technology that you're thinking of, is there a technology that you're particularly excited about, and how do you think about it with respect to the hype curve?
So I think the obvious one at the moment would be hydrogen, which I think is very much at the approaching the top of the hype curve. I see hydrogen as a very, very promising technology, but I see it fundamentally in terms of the limiting factor around adoption is ecosystem. Because to really make a hydrogen application work, you've got to align production with storage, with distribution, and then the environmental efficiency you like of the final use case. And that can entail a whole range of different stakeholders. It can involve incentives and governments, but unless you can really line up all those stakeholders, I think hydrogen's quite a challenge.
With hydrogen, do you have a specific example you'd like to share?
Well, a good example is we've just developed what we call a microcar. And the interesting aspect of that is it was an EV and we've converted it to hydrogen. So we have a very, very good like-for-like comparison. And what you find is we pretty much double the range when we convert it to hydrogen. However, the question that you're left with is, well, okay, great, but where do I go and fill it up with hydrogen? So it's a very good example of however good a particular part of the value chain is, your solution is, unless you can join it up with the rest, then you will not be able to produce a compelling business case.
Keith, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the great questions.